after which we have to reaccelerate into the cease of tax season. So my view is Bitcoin easily gets to 100 this year, and in all likelihood is 150 plus via March before it corrects once more. And then we finish the year after a bigger correction with a completely sturdy rally into the cease. So it's turning into increasingly probably that Bitcoin will surpass $100,000,000 before the quit of this year. And with that, we are probably going to be seeing a number of special altcoins getting enormous rate action as we had been seeing over the last few weeks here. I mean, simply take a look at what XRP recently did inside the remaining 2.5 weeks. It went from 50 cents consistent with coin all the way as much as a greenback and 64 cents at top on some exchanges. And yes, it did see a little bit of a correction, because then, however, that ought to be celebrated. That is sincerely insane that it did greater than a 3x in its rate over the course of the ultimate couple of weeks. And while I'm predicting, because Bitcoin is probable to look lots extra capital into the subsequent year, that we are also going to see and surely huge rally over again for XRP and the rest of the altcoins. And Raoul here does describe this phenomenon, what type of hedge finances and establishments are getting involved. And I suppose it's definitely exciting. So I need you men all to listen very carefully, hit that like button, and permits get into it. So when you say correction, we are at 150, it corrects again to 80. Yeah, perhaps something like that. Maybe less, perhaps 30% correction. So back down to 100, it makes sense to me. Right. And it's going to experience depressing, and people will say, has the cycle peaked, and all of that noise. And then normally we give up. The second 1 year after the presidential election cycle, very strong. And then it peaks out from time to time there. If I give a variety of goals, I suppose pinpointing a target, worst case is 150, my base case is 250, and in an obscene bull market, because anyone's buying driven by using a change of regulation, then it may pass as excessive as 450. Okay, let's visit Solana. I'm going to invite you the equal questions associated with Solana, because I realize you are a bull there.
Yeah.
So I suppose Solana finishes this year toward 400 than it is to 200. So I assume there's 12 months, 6 weeks, maybe 350. I mean, it is a high beta asset, so it have to do better. So anticipate that to manifest. I think, again, it follows the identical sort of price course as Bitcoin, but it have to outperform all the way. It's been on this consolidation as opposed to Bitcoin sideways consolidation. The subsequent leg should be altcoin season, and Solana must be the king of the essential alts. So I'm sort of awaiting Solana from right here to likely get to over 1,000, 1,250, something like that. All right, last one, Ethereum. Ethereum has been a lag, and I think it plays some C's up. I think it outperforms Bitcoin going forwards for a chunk, due to the fact if we sit down back and examine what the regulatory adjustments is, probably that is the platform upon which most of the establishment will begin doing stuff. It's the Microsoft selection. Every financial institution has Microsoft computers, not Apple computers. So I think that Ethereum honestly does better than most human beings expect going into the give up of the year. Again, equal fee pattern outperforms Bitcoin. Solana outperforms Ethereum. So it's the danger curve. So there is something taking place with the financial system. And I think it's because the Fed took goodbye to cut charges due to the fact they have been combating the inflation demon of the past. And they took too lengthy. And that has saved a bulk of the economic system sluggish. Translate that to the ordinary person. If you are walking a sandwich shop in Manhattan, or you are running a dry cleaners in Chicago, you are now not seeing the cash are available, and yet you're no longer seeing growth, your enterprise develop. Now, the ahead searching indicators recommend we can get that, and we're going to get strong growth coming forwards. But actually, to get that commercial enterprise cycle turning the Fed to turning, we still need the Fed to reduce. Similarly. So, yeah, there is a lot to look forward to inside the future, and that's why I'm investing quite closely in some of cryptocurrencies nowadays, even after all the excellent rallies that we've had. I'm in reality continuing my dollar value averages into XRP, Solana, even Ethereum, and quite a few other small caps, which I assume have not begun to see a majority of their fee motion. Now, some cryptocurrencies that I think you guys ought to certainly take into account in case you aren't already is Casper, Sui, and Render. These are all projects which are low caps proper now that have the capability to clearly skyrocket to charges we did not even assume have been possible. And nicely, my reason for this projection is that XRP has already been massively outperforming our preceding anticipated effects, and so is Bitcoin. I suggest Bitcoin saw quite a piece extra price motion than many humans did think it would see this early on inside the cycle as well. I want to remind you men that altcoin season hasn't even actually really all started, but. And sure, certain excessive cap altcoins like XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, yeah, they're doing pretty top, but commonly they do higher in a while into the cycle. So there is nevertheless plenty extra to sit up for, particularly with those enterprise cycles as Raoul changed into bringing up, but there is plenty more happening even outside of that on the subject of politics that we ought to truly be keeping an eye on. Now, which you might be questioning? Well, let's get into that. Real brief, even though before we get into that clip. I want to provide you guys all a terrific possibility right now to sign up into my Discord server and get VIP access due to the fact there may be going to be some of extremely good trading opportunities that we are going to be providing themselves within the next couple of days, which I will be giving to all of my VIP members. We're speaking approximately long positions on some of unique cryptocurrencies who will possibly appear a big rally towards the end of this month that you men can be able to trade along me and actually just replica me from start to finish. To make cash along me on these trades, assuming they do nicely, which I suppose there may be a quite high hazard that they'll. So if you need to be a part of that, ensure that you join up to BTCC, the use of the link down underneath, and also you also be a part of my Discord. The link is likewise down under so that you get the one's trades the moment they happen and you are in those VIP channels. Now with that being stated, even though allows get proper on again into the video and hear what Raoul Pal has to say here. Is Donald Trump going to remove the primary financial institution of the United States? No, I assume it truly is all rhetoric. The libertarians, I do not suppose he desires to do this and can try this. I don't think the machine is even prepared for it yet. You know, we don't know.
Yeah.
So I think not. I suppose that is more rhetoric than something else. Is Donald Trump going to put 1 million bitcoins on the stability sheet of the USA at the Federal Reserve stability sheet? First, I assume this is a piece of a crimson herring due to the fact as the world's reserve currency, you do not need to preserve reserves in something else. Right, so it's why the ebook, the USA doesn't keep a basket of euros and yen and different shit, would not need to. It is the sector reserve forex. So they do not really need currency reserves or countrywide reserves. They have got a legacy of gold of which we do not know how a lot is there. So the manner to do that is probably to mention, well, any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency this has been seized, we're going to position it inside the reserve. And that is a way of appeasing the crypto crowd without, I imply, there is no point to have a reserve. I imply perhaps they do. Maybe they think that that's going to assist them. But the worst component it'll do is just reinforce the dollar even in addition. And that is not correct. A very sturdy dollar is a wrecking ball for the rest of the sector. And without global trade and worldwide demand, all and sundry goes through a recession. So you have to form and be cautious of what you desire for. Paul, you think there is an increase coming proper? There's a techno boom coming? It's a techno increase and it's unstoppable. It's going to be so fast, we don't know a way to cope with it. Am I going to be taller because of this? No. Or is there a hazard? No, it is probably feasible. There is hope for you yet, hope for me yet. Okay, I'm simply asking, there is wish for you. There is desire for you yet. I think this is, I suppose this is why I actually have a little bit of jealousy toward you. It's no longer simplest you're excellent searching, but you are a tall son of a complaint. Okay. Tell us about the exponential age, go beforehand. So look, it's this nexus of all of those technologies, all hitting adoption effects at the identical time. You can see that in the front of your eyes with crypto. That's what percentage pass up. But AI, we will see that each 3 months is like a groundbreaking set of recent fashions, whether it's video, audio, or just the fashions themselves or the applications of it. We're seeing the robots coming. We've seen the Optimus robots. We've seen the robots coming out of China. We're seeing Tesla automobiles. We're seeing, I suggested, it's just limitless. We're seeing Amazon employing extra robots than humans.